Morning. To your friendly neighborhood streamer, Malcolm. This time I decided that I would finally stream Minecraft for you. Um, I have been playing Minecraft since 2011, 2012, on and off, not constantly. There were some times when I just took a 2 or 3 year break, but I'm playing it a fair amount right now. I think I have active memberships on 4 servers, one of them which I own. Um, but I think what I will show you actually is a single player game which doesn't require a server. I'm playing Minecraft Java Edition. The other major edition is called Bedrock Edition, which is for um, like phones, video gaming consoles, and so on. Although there are rumors that they will ultimately unify all the versions so they're all the same. But right now, there are sort of certain fundamental differences between Java Edition and Bedrock Edition. When I started playing, there was only Java Edition. Um, so yeah, there's that. Um, I think I may have a configuration problem here. Hold on. I've been dealing with echoes in the audio capture, and I think this is the problem. Yeah, that is the problem. All right, let me turn off this one. And you can still hear me, which is good. We like that. Um, Video capture tab. Quiet device, yes. Okay. So right now I'm showing you the Minecraft launcher, and I will click play on the launcher to start the actual Java game. And I'll need to switch it over in my recording studio, so just give me a moment. So I'm clicking play now, and then as soon as it spawns the next window, I'm waiting. There it is. Okay, then I can capture it. There it is. All right, so I didn't get to capture um, its sort of loading and launching, but I assume you can figure that out yourself if you happen to be curious and you fire up your own, download and fire up your own Minecraft instance. I actually want to resize this, and I think that's going to screw up the streaming. So let me actually do that. Yeah, that is so sorry about that. Everything's interconnected. We'll get there eventually. I just have to scale this window down so that everybody can see everything. And maybe up again. We're really close, aren't we? I'll do a little bit less and then a little bit more and be done. Come on. There we go. Okay. So that's the whole window with me in the lower right corner. Um, okay, so I want to tell you, so there's lots of different ways to play. People at this point, 11 years into the Minecraft release schedule, it's released from beta to a release version now. I think they actually did a release version in 1.0. It's a little confusing. There was beta 1.0 blah blah blah, and now release 1.0 blah, etc. Anyway, um, I lost track, but the current version is 1.18.2, and it's a release version. Um, it was acquired a few years ago from Mojang, which was the original developer, by Microsoft, which is, I think, why we're hearing rumors of an eventual merging of all the different editions into one edition. But they have to figure out what to do. For instance, like if they decide that they're going to implement it in Windows only, then they're going to lose all of their Linux and Mac players. So there's a lot of tricky situations to try to resolve. So I will show you the Java edition, and then I also wanted to say it's the standard edition. It's not modded in any way. It's not. There's a bunch of different main sort of mod launchers called. There's Fabric and Forge, and I'm unclear, but I think Paper and Spigot are like actually major server rewrites. They're all open source public projects that open source developers contribute to and players contribute to by making bug reports and so on. So it's a big project, big doings. And then the other thing that I wanted to tell you about is that there are certainly different levels of access and different ways to play. And the major difference between the two major ways to play are you can play survival, which is where there's no rules tweaking and there's no cheating and there's no flying and there's like until you actually acquire the in-game items that allow you to do things like fly. And then there's creative, which gives you access to infinite resources of your own choosing. No matter what, you get to fly, you can change your mode to spectator and actually float or fly through solid objects. Like it's very convenient, and creative is meant to be a sort of sandbox where you can build what you want and make beautiful creations and show them off if you want through screenshots or sharing the save file or whatever. I am going to start a single player game. I'm going to show you the ropes in survival about how to survive the first, I don't know, few days. And then I may occasionally go into creative to show you pretty things or to show you like the diversity of biomes and stuff like that. But I'll start with a single player game in survival mode, but with cheats enabled so that I can switch to creative and show you other stuff if that seems appropriate. So let's do that. All right, so game mode survival, allow cheats, difficulty normal is fine. I usually play hard on servers, but let's just do normal because as I've demonstrated before, if I crank up the difficulty, I'll likely get myself killed. I don't need data packs. I'm not going to mess with the game rules. You can go into world options and you can do stuff like change what the surface is and how it works. I'm looking for some additional settings, but I don't see them here, so I'll have to look around. I think the game rules. No, but there's lots of stuff you can tweak, which is cool. I don't think I've seen this menu before. It used to be that you could go into the world options and you could choose some other world generation parameters like extreme mountains, which would make super tall, cliffy mountains with floating islands and stuff like that. But I think we'll just be kind of normal. So I'm going to create the world. I'm going to start out in the day. I'm not going to be carrying anything, and I need to either find or make shelter and start work on getting food, because you do get hungry over time and you can starve to death in normal and hard difficulty. Or maybe it's just hard difficulty, I'm not sure. But anyway, you do have hunger and it sort of affects your robustness. All right, so let's go. So the world is now generating. And the reason I'm playing single player and not showing you any of the servers I'm on is because I haven't gotten prior consent from anybody on the servers to do a recording. So I figured single player would be fair and I wouldn't have to ask anybody and I'll be alone in the world. So I start on this sort of hill slash cliff, which is not ideal. And I'm actually doing a little jumpy parkour to try not to hurt myself when I go down. And it looks like I'm in, so now I'm using the space to jump as I move forward with the WASD command. Is that, I don't know what kind, oh, these are acacia, I believe. So I'm in, you can check the kind of biome you are in by pressing F3 and somewhere, oh yeah, Minecraft Savannah. So that's, if you go on the left, you look on the left side of the screen and it's about 2/3 of the way down. It says biome : Minecraft Savannah. So that's actually pretty good news. I got some sheep around here, which means I can make a bed, which is actually quite helpful. So I think what I'm going to do is punch some trees. You almost always have to start by punching trees. You punch trees to get logs. And your reach is 5 blocks away from you, up and sideways, and down. I think it's actually 4 or maybe 3. I can't remember. It doesn't matter that much usually. If you take all of the logs, and you can see they don't fall down. That's just Minecraft physics for you. But if you take all of the logs that were in the air near foliage, then the foliage starts to break down automatically, and it may drop sticks or saplings to cut depending on the kind of tree it is. And then the other thing that I need to do now is I need to make an axe and a pickaxe. I'm going to make a wooden pickaxe and a wooden axe. And there's a sapling. That was an acacia sapling. So I'm going to make, first I need to make a workbench. And I just have these recipes memorized. Sorry, a crafting table. I have these recipes memorized, but you can use this thing, which is a recipe book that shows you recipes based on what you know and what sort of resources you have in your hand. Oh, and my avatar is a giraffe. I hope that didn't surprise anyone. I've had a giraffe avatar for quite some time. So I've placed the crafting table, and then I'm going to make some more, make all planks out of the logs, and then I'm going to make some sticks. 4 is just right. So a pickaxe is that, and an axe is that. I'm going to get stuff out of my. This is a quick access bar, which you can select these slots with the number keys when you're not looking at your inventory or a crafting table. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here where there's exposed rock, and I'm going to mine it for cobblestone. And the reason that I'm going to do that is because stone tools are better They last longer, they're faster, and they're basically just more durable than wooden tools, as you might imagine. In fact, it doesn't seem likely that you could actually mine rock with wooden tools, but I suppose you could in real life. I'm only focusing on the gray rocks because those are what create or release the cobblestone. And I'm gonna get as much as I can. They're also not all dropping down, so I'm actually gonna break some other stuff down in order to get all the cobblestone seed. Really quite nice and convenient. Need that later to grow. So I'm doing all of this digging by just pointing at the square that I want to dig and then holding down the left mouse button. You can see that there's a little colored line underneath my pickaxe in the quick access bar, and that is the sort of remaining durability of my tool. So it is getting worn out by mining stone. I'm probably getting more stone than I need right now. Generally, it's better to get more than less. All right, and then my pickaxe broke. I'm gonna go back up here, and with the remaining daylight, I'm gonna continue to get logs, this time with the wooden axe. Generally, people do not use wooden axes very long. As soon as they can upgrade to stone, they do. I'm gonna do this just because I don't want to be wasteful on my first day. Okay. And I'm gonna pick this up too. I don't want to waste the wood. Sorry about the twitchiness. I've been kind of shaky for a while now. Okay. Look out for these holes in the savanna floor. Don't want to fall into any holes before I'm ready. Currently, everything that I've been able to harvest, I'm still carrying, which is good. Before I set down roots, I definitely don't want to overcommit to any roots. So I did that by, I guess I need to. I did that by jumping and placing a block underneath me. Learn early on, because there is a lot of need to build up places where you don't have any other way to access the up. Logs are more convenient to carry around because each log becomes 4 planks. And so if you want to carry a lot of wood around, it's more convenient. I'm having trouble getting my elevation here. It's more convenient to carry logs around than to carry planks around, depending on what kind of building material you want. Okay, I'm going to check this position of, okay, the sun is slowly falling. It's pretty close to the horizon, so I need to find shelter because overnight, in the dark, is scary and the monsters come out. I am going to do a thing that I usually do, which is I'm going to dig a quick bolt hole into the side of a mountain. I need to make another pickaxe, but this time it's going to be made out of stone. And I don't need to go very far for my first bite. I'm going to make a doorway, which I will fill up. All right, and then I'm going to fill it up halfway. And then I am going to temporarily, actually, I don't need to use a, no, I need to use the crafting table. So I'm going to use the crafting table temporarily here. I'll pick it up again. I'm going to make one furnace. Pick that up. It's very dark now. Put a furnace down. And I'm going to, where are my planks? All right, so I'm going to put this up here and I'm going to burn up planks to create charcoal out of logs. And while that is happening, I'm going to make 4 torches in my inventory. And I'm going to put one here to try to reduce monsters. And the reason that I have a window open or an opening open is so that I can see the sky. I want to wait overnight until it turns pale blue, and then it's safe to come out and I don't have to worry about monsters so much. In the meantime, I'm going to get out of the way by building or digging sideways. Because if something comes, like for instance a skeleton, that can shoot into, I want to get hit. And here I can keep digging for resources like cobblestone. It's possible that I may accidentally find some coal, which would be immensely helpful because then I don't have to burn up logs to get charcoal. In fact, let me switch over. So each charcoal, so the planks were, it was like 3 planks to 2 burned logs, something like that. Charcoal burns or smelts or whatever you want to call it. It smelts 8 things per charcoal, so it's much more efficient. They're even more efficient burnables and fuels, but I don't have access to them right now, so I'm doing what I can. So this may actually make a good initial first base. It's not great, but good is fine. It's possible to sometimes find things like floating islands that are floating in the air that are easy for you to get to. Those are nice because you can light them and then you don't have to worry about anybody attacking you from any direction. There's also a sort of very minor risk that I will open up. There's some coal. It's coal ore that you can see there briefly. I'll get it in a minute. It's possible that while digging, I will open up a hole into a cavern that may just be dark wherever you have monsters in it. the more you can find shelters that are sort of pre built for you, that are have things you need, the better it is for you. But you usually don't have a lot of time to spend time. This is a nice vein. You need to spend time harvesting the basic resources to survive the first night. And I mean, to be honest, I have survived a night in Minecraft, and a night in Minecraft is really just a few minutes in real life. It's not a full, 8 hours or whatever. But and I'm gonna check now. Checking. Yes, dark, so not great. Um, but it can be a little terrifying to hang out in the dark, waiting for monsters to come. In this, I think when I did it, it was in the snow, in a snowy biome. It's survivable. And then the other thing that you can do, which I try not to do because it doesn't feel particularly productive, is you can dig 3 squares, 3 blocks straight down, and then just put a lid on it. The problem with that is that there's no way of telling what time it is. You'd have to use a stopwatch or something. I mean, the time in game versus the time uh, outside in the real world. All right, so from mining all that coal, I actually got 25, which is great. Now the problem is I don't have that many logs. I got a bunch of charcoal and a bunch of coal, which means I can make a few more torches. I'm going to use up, which one do I want to use up? I guess I'll use up the planks to make sticks. And then, that's pretty good. That's the torch recipe. And now I have whatever that is, 96 torches. That's actually quite a few for the beginning of the game. I'm feeling good about that. Um, the next thing that I really want to mine for is iron. But I think I have to dig down for that. So I'm going to leave this as a place to dig down from. But I think I will also continue to expand this way because I will just use this bolt hole it's not a bolt hole really, but I'll use this dugout area for my initial base. And one thing I'm still getting used to in Minecraft is that when I was learning to play Minecraft, you needed a light level of 7. And a torch is 15 in the block that it's in. So this block here, and then every block away from it, the light level diminishes by 1. So you had to put down torches pretty regularly. But now, with the most recent releases, you only need a light level 1. And this is to prevent spawning of monsters. There are other rules too, like there's no way in the rules that a monster could spawn inside of this area because it's too close to me. They have to be, I believe, 16 blocks away to spawn. And I think as far out as 128. But they can find you and they can come get you. So that's the scary bit. Again, not super scary, but somewhat scary. That's a good thing I saved some of my logs because I need more sticks to make another pickaxe. not sure what I did there, but whatever. Let's just use the other one too. Tools can't stack, whereas you can have a stack of up to 64 of most other resources. Some of those resources are limited to 16 in a stack. But like tools and armor and weapons don't stack. They each take up a single inventory space, and you have a limited inventory, as you can see here. Oh, it looks like it's daylight. It is daylight. Excellent. So I can now go outside with reasonable safety, not total safety. It's possible that there are some monsters that spawned anyway. I'm going to mark my position so I don't lose it. And I'm going to go out again to do some more tree cutting because I need more logs. And I'm going to sneak a peek behind me, and it doesn't look like anybody is chasing me, so that's good. I don't have any monsters that are coming for me. This is a different kind of tree, so I got new recipes. It's not an acacia, this is an oak. Oh, and there's a beehive, or a bee nest. That will be useful later, but it's not useful now, so I'll just leave it alone. But this is a bee nest right here. There's almost always a use for things in the game. Not always. There's occasionally something that is completely useless. And we usually end up hoping that there will be a use for it at some later date. All right. So my axe died. So, and now I'm lost. I think, yeah, there it is. I'm going to go back to my base where my workbench or my crafting table is. Because I don't want to waste the wood on making another crafting table. So now I'm going to make stone axes, which again are more durable than wooden axes. And there we go. So the next durability level is iron. And for that, you need to find iron ore and smelt it into iron ingots, and then you can use iron ingots to make iron tools. For the uses that I'm putting these logs to, it doesn't really matter what kind of wood I harvest. So I am just going to town. When you are near flowers and trees, it makes sense to look for bee nests before you cut down trees. Not because you're likely to get in too much trouble, but it's possible that you could accidentally strike a bee and piss it off, and it would come for you and sting you. A sting won't kill you, but it will definitely inconvenience. Okay. I am tempted to kill this sheep to get its wool, but it would be more responsible to shear it. But you need iron to shear sheep, so I'm just gonna wait. If I killed it, I might not get what I want, which would be the wool. Just the wool that I need to. I'm not supposed to use my axe on dirt. It's the wool that I need to make a bed. And a bed is nice because that tells the game where you want to respawn if you happen to die. Otherwise, I would have to start from scratch on that cliffside where I started the game. The other thing that I'm actually going to do now is I am going to break a bunch of grass, try to get more grass seed, which will help me in farming in the future. I'll need that soon. I'll also need water and plenty of dirt around here, so that's not a big deal. But I definitely will need water, which I can only move with an iron bucket. So again, I need iron. And so in this coming game night, overnight, I'm going to spend time mining down to see if I can get some iron ore and start making iron tools that I need. Do underground farming, shear sheep, and move water around in my underground farm, that kind of thing. Just pick up these sticks because they're useful, and because you never know, I might want to plant trees underground too. The reason that I'm patching the grass with a stick or my bare hand is that it doesn't need a tool. And it's possible that using a tool will weigh the tool down a little bit to try to harvest the grass. And the game doesn't keep track of damage to things like sticks. So it's more powerful than the tools. How are we doing? All right, so the sun is setting. I would say it's sort of early, late afternoon right now. And I have 23 seeds is plenty. I really need to start concentrating on getting iron. The other thing is I have wood now, so I can actually make a real door. Let me find. Ooh, that's evocative, isn't it? Where's my actual door? Oh, I see some water way off there. That's good to know about. I keep getting lost. Okay, there's my little place. I'm actually going to go in there early and mess around and make a door and so on. So I'm actually going to make this even more visible with more torches around the doorway. And then let's make an acacia door. Here, the kind of wood actually matters when you're making doors. Ideally, an iron door would help even more because the problem with wooden doors is they can be broken down by angry monsters. Since I haven't encountered any angry monsters, I'm going to try not to worry about it right now. But this door is nice in that you can see through it. That's why I like acacia doors to start with. You can see pretty well. It's almost as good as a window. Okay. I think I will move the furnace. It's sort of in the way right now. And I think I might even venture a chest or a double chest for storage. So so let's do that. Each single chest requires 8 planks. So I have a bunch of different kinds of wood to choose from. I'll just do. I think I just need I need the 16 total blocks to do this. But it actually doesn't matter what wood you use to make a chest. All chests always end up looking the same. There's my double chest. So I'm making stuff using actively, which is good for security. It's good for recovering my stuff if I get blown up. It's just sort of a good practice to follow. In case of accidents. So that's helpful. So now almost my entire inventory is empty, which is good. I have these tools and torches in specific spots because I've always had them there. I always have torches in slot 7. So get to a torch by typing 7 and then right click. It's just something I've always done, so I'm just going to keep doing whatever I've always done so that I don't, forget. I'm going to finish digging out this expanded chamber, and then I'm going to start digging down and seeing if I can find iron. There's copper. Can't make copper armor just yet, which is a shame. Copper is interesting. It's a new substance in Minecraft. I think as of version 1.17, I can't remember, but it's the first metal that oxidizes. So copper will actually turn greenish over time, and you can have your friendly neighborhood bees help you by harvesting beeswax from the bee nests or the beehives if you happen to be running your own apiary. And you can freeze the oxidation of the copper at any of the 3 levels, I believe, with beeswax. So you can freshly smelted copper is a bright copper color, and you can preserve that with beeswax, or you can let it copper sit around for a little while and slowly oxidize and get progressively more and more sort of green oxidized copper look, like an old penny. And you can freeze that in place with beeswax if you happen to like those colors better. All right, so usually for mining down, I like to dig 3 or 4 blocks per step. So I think is that 4? Yeah, that's 4. So then the next one, and I'm actually gonna put cobblestone where I'm not digging, I guess, is just to try to fill up. So the thing about crevices and cracks in Minecraft is that, especially if you dig them yourself, if they're dark, you could definitely spawn a monster in there, and it's super embarrassing to be killed by a monster that you yourself allowed to be created in your shelter. Certainly, I've done it in the past, and I don't recommend it. Well, not that anyone would tell unless you were streaming. But it happens, and if it's avoidable, I like to try to avoid things. I'm not entirely familiar with the depth that you need to go to reliably get iron. I suspect it's around 50 or 60. And you can see your relative elevation in the game with that F3 again. So if you look at um, the XYZ readout on the left side or the targeted block on the right side of the statistics, those are both showing you your coordinates in the world. So the position of my feet is where the XYZ coordinate is. So my feet are approximately x equals 1, z equals 21, and y, which is the elevation, is 68. Now the elevation can actually now go negative, and that was something that was rolled out very recently in version 1.18. And it's allowed for some really interesting stuff going on deep underground. Um, the x and the z coordinates are horizontal coordinates, or south, east, west, depending on whether it's positive or negative. And it's all relative to the spawn point, which is approximately at 0, 0. So you can find sort of your place by dead reckoning. And in fact, let me get rid of this and get back to where my door is. I will often do that. I will take a screenshot with the coordinates showing. Um, I don't even know how I screenshot anymore. I'm using a Windows computer, and I don't think I have it installed. Anyway, I'm not going to do that now because I don't remember how to screenshot of this. Let me try. One of these keys is print screen. It's the problem is I don't know which one, and I need a new prescription of my glasses. Oh, there it is. Or it's F2 is screenshot, now that I remember. Save a screenshot. Okay, so later on I can find the coordinates for my base's door if I get lost somewhere. It's easier to use this when you're above ground, but it can even be helpful if you're lost in caverns. All right, digging my own cavern, I shouldn't get lost in it, but who knows where things. The other thing that I should consider doing is uh, building stairs because jumping consumes a significant amount of food calories, and I will be running low very shortly. And I may have to go kill sheep just so I can eat. But stairs actually significantly better the situation as far as going up and down things goes. I'm trying to conserve torches, so I'm not spamming my environment with torches. And like I said, I don't need to anymore. It used to be much greater. But torches do provide light, making it easier to see what's going on around us, which is probably more fascinating for somebody watching a stream rather than recording it. Many people would call mining sort of an unchanging rock face boring, but I find that a lot of people that I've played Minecraft with find this pretty soothing. to do sort of repetitive tasks toward some sort of goal. The other thing is you can use audio clues to figure out how close you are to monsters and such. It's not going to help you if you're in a tunnel that's dark, but it will help you if you are building a tunnel. You can hear monsters, you can hear lava. It's kind of a hazard when you're in a hole in the ground or under where there might be no lava pools. Um, so, and you can even show subtitles, which I think will, yeah, so you can see in the lower right. Those are my footsteps, by the way. But you can see each sound effect being accompanied by the subtitle. And so your subtitles could also tell you if you are hearing zombies groaning or spiders doing spider things or whatever. So that can actually help quite a bit too. I feel like I'm too low. No, my Y coordinate is 56. I was aiming for 50, so let's just keep going. Oh, there's more copper. It's too bad we can't make copper tools or copper armor. But that is not an option for us as of yet in the current version of Minecraft. Definitely going to keep an eye on that copper, but I'm going to leave it alone for now and see if in the last few minutes of this stream we can maybe find some iron. Oh, that eerie sound was, I will have to say, somewhat disconcerting. That's gravel. Gravel's not great for the tool, but it does drop flint on occasion, which can be helpful for making certain. I should actually just dig either with a shovel or my fist with gravel. You can hear that it actually changes the walking sound. It's terrible for pickaxes, so you don't actually want to break gravel with pickaxes. You want to save your pickaxe for actual stone. Okay, I think we're at what, 50? Oh, we're too low now, 47. That's fine. That should be okay. So then, if I want to keep looking around, I should probably go sort of horizontally. Copper. And you can even punch stone, but I don't think it drops any cobblestone when you do it. I'm using a torch to do it. It's silly. Yep, no, it doesn't. Okay, so my pickaxes are broken, so it's time to go back up and make more pickaxes. I think I'm also going to make cobblestone stairs, and it's light outside, so if I wanted to, I could go get some more. What am I trying to say? If I wanted to, I could go get some more wood, some more logs. But I think I'm okay. So stairs are easier to place. And I'll do this and then I'll finish up the stream. Or copper. How wonderful. So I'll actually make a little room to get around the stairs too. Okay, that's good. So with stairs, you just sort of aim at the crease, the corner. Oh, and I can't go up. Now I can. I got a little stuck under that ledge. Okay, and then probably not enough stairs to go all the way up, but we'll see. There was more cobble in the chest. You can't place a block that you're actually standing in. So I sometimes interfere with my own stair placement by standing in the block where I'm trying to put stairs. Almost there. Get some more cobble. Finish this up. Alright, so those are the stairs. They go down to level 47. I still haven't found iron, which is frustrating, but whatever. And pretty good luck so far, so I'm gonna try not to be complaining about it. We do have a lot of copper, but unfortunately, copper's not really that useful right now. And it's been about an hour, so I think I'm gonna stop here. 2 blocks is good enough to respawn or reconnect in. It also protects you from Endermen, which are a sort of rare creature to encounter in the beginning, but you will eventually encounter them. They are 3 blocks high and they cannot enter a 2 block high space. Most other monsters can, though, and there are even some monsters like baby zombies, which are only 1 block high, and spiders, which are 1 block high and 2 blocks wide, that you have to be worried about too if you're just using sort of physical limitations to keep the monsters out. But it's not usually a problem until it becomes a problem. That's kind of the nature of playing these open world crafting and resource gathering games. There are risks within the game that make it more challenging. But aside from not having iron tools and not being able to sleep because I don't have a bed, it's not a bad start. I do think that getting a bucket and being able to plant um, wheat and maybe other vegetables would be good sooner rather than later in this game. We are going to start getting hungry. But otherwise, it's not a bad start. And in the next few game days, I think it would be quite possible to get a sort of homesteading foothold and really start building a place that looks nice rather than just keeps us alive. So that's kind of the start in Minecraft. And I've been known to enjoy it. Sometimes if I've been playing for a long time on a particular server, I will take the opportunity to just pick a direction and start walking until I get to a part of the world um, that looks pristine, that it looks like nobody's touched, and then I will homestead again just to prove that I can, I guess. It's also just kind of lovely and calming to be able to do it, especially once you're more familiar with how the game works and not too freaked about what kinds of risks you might be facing. Um, so anyway, I hope you enjoyed my video about Minecraft. I hope that you will join me again and see what else I play and stream and record. And let me know if you would like me to play any specific game or talk about any specific game and its roots. Um, I'm always happy to do that. I'm always happy to talk about what's been controversial and what um, has been swept under the rug and how politics are going and equity and opportunity and diversity and access and all those other social justicey terms. Um, but I'm also just as happy to sort of quietly play any kind of game that I already have access to or I can easily get access to that doesn't cost too much money because I'm not making a lot of money these days, but that's another concern. Anyway, you know how to look at my lists of games that I can play. You know how to reach me. If you want to, I encourage you to follow me on Twitch, to like my videos and subscribe to them on YouTube. And otherwise, I hope you have a lovely day, a lovely midweek Wednesday. I hope your family is doing well. I hope they're taking care of you and you're taking care of them. I hope that if you have any pets that they like belly rubs and you like to give them. And I hope to see you again soon. Take good care.